Seattle, a city with a collective identity constantly in flux, always changing. But what it's always been and continues to be is a magnet for creators to come experiment and to make their own. Oh, and weed is legal here.
I took a walk through this beautiful world, felt the cool rain on my shoulder, found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha-la-la-la-la, 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 sha-la-la-la-la.
Seattle has always been a place where you can go to reinvent yourself. It's a place that on the surface would seem to require commitment. Famously gray, rainy, not particularly friendly, and all the way up there in the far corner of the country. A place you could get work in the aircraft industry or make music or, rather notoriously, become a serial killer. Whether outfitting prospectors during the Alaskan gold rush or looking for some kind of cred from the music scene. It's always boom or bust. Now it's a new kind of boom. Microsoft, Google, Twitter, Expedia, and Amazon are the big dogs in town. A flood of them, tech industry workers, mostly male, derisively referred to as tech boys or tech bros, rapidly changing the DNA of the city, rewiring it to satisfy their own newly empowered nerdly appetites. Meet our new apple martini drinking overlords.
Tech boys! Tech boys! Tech boys! Tech boys! With your mustache and your paycheck and your blue badge and your lipstick, with your mouth full of the party line and your weekends working all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time.
Fish and chips is the thing, right?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Astra, Elaine, and Dustin Patterson are members of the local band, The Gods Themselves. They wrote a song about the new kids in town. Pacific Inn Pub is a holdout, a place that has so far managed to resist the temptation to appease the invaders. For lunch, fish and chips.
You know, bitter old fucks like me are, of course, going to complain anytime we hear about, you know, a lot of high-fiving white guys coming to town. And yet you've created this sort of iconic hate anthem. Can you tell the tech people from the non-tech people?
Yeah, they have the badges.
Neutral colored clothing. They're kind of easy to spot. They have a walk.
They have a walk.
Yeah. They're just all the same. There's nothing that really stands out about them. They're so dull. You know, dating apps are really big here. I have a few girlfriends who have dated a couple of tech boys.
Is there personal hygiene an issue?
Like the nerdier tech boys will have that smell, that mildewy smell. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Wow, you really have a low opinion of these people.
Well, we're generalizing now, Tony.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Everybody in Seattle's a musician, a serial killer, or a chef, as far as I'm concerned, so. In a lot of ways, I mean, this was always a company town. You know, Boeing, before Boeing, it was a logging town. I mean, the new company is tech. And it is flooding money into the place. I look out my hotel room window, and I mean, it's cranes as far as the eye can see.
you realize, like, okay, all those cranes out there, they're for high-rise condos, they're for a certain type of person. They're envisioning a certain type of future for the city, and it's tech people.
Or, you know, somebody who likes to drive around and pick up hitchhikers and dismember them.
Capitol Hill is Seattle's established neighborhood, going back to the mid-1960s. Old school cool, but with every passing day, change. The Hill has become the new weekend stomping ground of breeders from the tech companies, and the locals are displeased. John Criscatello, street artist, is waging a one-man war against the rent hikes that are pushing people like him out of the neighborhood.
Are we talking about an infestation of tech bros?
Well,
is this, what, 10 years ago, would this be a gay neighborhood?
it was sort of enclave for artists and for queer people.
And so what's happening now?
Or big tech corporations that have moved into the city. People need someplace to live, so a lot of development companies bought up every corner. If they keep this sort of facade, they can build taller. So this was just this, and then
Right.
they plunked this down in the center.
So they're keeping the character of the neighborhood
They
sort
call
of,
it
kind of.
façadomy. I've heard it termed façadomy. Problem, of course, is that rents double. So
Right.
what you used to be able to get a studio apartment for $700, now all of a sudden the entry point is $1,500, which is considerable for artists, anybody. You know, that's the sort of lament now is, where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go?
Yeah.
Where are you gonna go?
Right. So all these outsiders are coming in, renting expensive apartments. What kind of businesses are opening to accommodate these new arrivals?
Well, in this neighborhood, that construction over on that side is a Whole Foods.
Oh, no, that's a sign of the apocalypse.
That is the end.
That's the official indicator that the
is
neighborhood is
end.
fucked.
That's it right there.
Because of the boom and everything that's been happening, you do have that kind of have and have-nots here. And I think there's an identity crisis where people are starting to really question what is Seattle and who is it? But historically, you go back to the 90s, I mean, it was the city of grunge. And now I would say it's the city of geeks. And it's boomtown right now.
And yeah, this kind of boom does happen in other places, but then again, it doesn't.
John Cook and Todd Bishop of Geekwire, an industry-leading news site that started covering the tech industry back in 2011. Lunch is at Revel, right down the street from their offices. The chef is Rachel Yang, and the food is Korean. To eat, cilantro noodles, yu choy, and thinly sliced flat iron steak. Kimchi pancakes with braised pork belly and bean sprouts. Marinated short rib rice bowl with house sambal, daikon, kimchi, and egg. And short rib dumplings topped with pickled shallot and scallion salad.
Of course, I'm hearing from a lot of people who are bemoaning the loss of the old Seattle.
Right?
This invasion of outsiders.
Certainly the community is going through a lot of growing pains, and there's an element of the city here that is rebelling against the progress, especially as we talk about a company like Amazon that controls massive amounts of the downtown real estate footprint now. And that's what scares a lot of people here, including myself, because I see how the trends of history change, especially in technology, that one day Microsoft's hot, the next day Apple's hot, now Amazon's hot. They go through these cycles and they don't always live through them. And we're left with a city that's totally transformed because of it.
What percentage of the total dollar-generating space on the internet is occupied by porn?
Well, you know, this is Todd's expertise, so I'll defer to him.
Historically, the adult industry, even if it's not completely dominating the economics all the time, it is the leader of technology. It's the first with HD. It's the first to try out a new wave of 3D technology, virtual reality, augmented reality, and you see it over and over again. The latest is VR and AR.
Yeah. Do you know that do you know the #1 search term on porn websites for the Seattle area? Stepmom. What's the fuck their stepmom? Jesus.
Jen McEwen and Jesse Adams are two nice people who've chosen the porn business as a way to make a living. They launched My Candy, the world's first mobile app store for masturbators and aficionados of graphic erotica. But they are looking ahead, the next levels of porn. Personalized, interactive, virtual reality porn. And I can tell you, my friends, it's chillingly realistic.
Generally speaking, who are your customers demographically?
Mostly male. But yeah, they're coming from all over the world.
Right.
They're looking for more unique experiences, and I think that's why VR is very important for them. And just also a lot of people who say they discovered their sexuality and their identity through stuff like this.
What the adult industry is really good at is wherever your specific interest is, we'll find the exact person for you. Well, the exact piece of content.
Like Amazon does.
Yeah.
So Tony, based on your previous purchases, you know, we can recommend the following stepmom-related materials.
Do you want to see some VR porn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God. Now, should I look behind me? Because I don't want to get spit roasted here. Oh, okay.
Hey there.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of scary. It's good.
Weed, smoke, ganja, reefer. Call it what you will, it's marijuana. Oh, I could go on all day. Long story short, Washington State legalized weed in 2012. And I plan to make the most of it while scrupulously adhering to the lay of the law, like I always do. The options available in places like this, Emerald Haze, are mind-boggling.
Well, how can I help you out today?
Well, where to begin?
Where to begin?
There is a dizzying array of products. You got dozens of strains of bud, oils to vape, weed-infused edibles, mints, syrups, ointments, probably lube. Remind me to ask. My advice, don't even try to shop stoned. Decision-making was never, in my case, a strong point while baked.
Which is sleepy? I forget. Is it indica or sativa that's peppy? The other one is sleepy.
The indica will put you into couch. That one's going to be your sleepy body high.
Right.
Sativa is going to be more of your awake, alert high, kind of mostly feeling it in the head.
Right, like crouched in the bathroom in a fetal position, paranoid?
Not like that crazy.
Yeah, okay, good. I think let's do some of both.
Some of both?
Yeah. What do you have on offer here?
We do have a deal on our pack of 3 today from Hollingsworth, which they had the blueberry kush, the Alaskan thunderfuck, and then also a Dutch treat, which will be more of a hybrid.
Which I mean, I have to. Alaskan thunderfuck. I mean, you kind of have to. This is from our friends at.
Yeah, these are from Hollingsworth, which is very nice.
2 hours outside of Seattle lies Hollingsworth Cannabis Company Farm. The woods are alive with, well, weed. Rows and rows of weed, carefully grown and tended to by one family. Third-generation Seattleites, the Hollingsworths. And at the helm of the company, these guys, brother and sister duo Raft and Joy Hollingsworth.
Oh, hi!
hi. Didn't see you there.
Wait, hold on. Oh, hi. Didn't see you there.
Didn't see you there.
Let me say
2013, then you say the rest of the
No,
shit.
I can't remember.
Okay, we're gonna do it.
I'm Joy Hollingsworth. I got it.
Oh, hi. Say it, say it.
Let's take a closer look, shall we?
While some corporate outfits are rushing to cash in on the new crop, the Hollingsworth Cannabis Company is doing it a slower, more personal way. Solar-powered greenhouses, hand-trimmed buds, and hand-packed bags ensure the freshest and highest quality of chronic. They're keeping it all in the family. Raft runs the manufacturing and growing. Joy does the processing and sales. Auntie came out of retirement to assist with the oil cartridges. Dad puts labels on the packaging, and Mom fills the ready rolls and assists in quality control. As I will, and have, and will again. Back in the city, Mamnoon Restaurant on Melrose.
Have you been here before?
Absolutely. This is a good spot. How you doing?
I've been smoking some of your products, so if I'm a little unfocused.
Before this, you did?
What's that?
Before this?
Before this, yeah.
He said, what?
Mamnoon is a modern take on traditional Syrian and Lebanese food, and it's done well. There's Baharat spiced beef and lamb kebabs, fried cauliflower with tahini, a summer fateh with local squash and charred tomatoes topped with sizzling brown butter and pine nuts. That's sweet and sour rice wrapped in grape leaves.
This looks so good.
The hummus is great.
This is my favorite cuisine.
So how's business?
It's been an interesting 3 years because I feel like every year we've been like refining the process and trying to get better. We're the little guys.
Right now, we're mom and pop.
Yeah, we're the mom and pop. But see, the difference is Washington State set up the law to try to help mom and pops get started.
How did you convince the family? This must have seemed like a sketchy venture.
Yeah.
It's a gamble.
Raph said, hey, I got a family meeting. I need you here tonight. And we're all sitting there, and he puts on his little PowerPoint on the TV, and it's about 32 pages. And he tells us, hey, we need to go to Mason County, grow a ton of weed. And we're all like, what are you talking about? And my mom raises her hand, and she goes, wait, I have something really important. We all look at her, and she goes, I want to be R&D. Can I smoke and tell you if the weed is good? And then all of a sudden, he starts moving.
My business plan ended at get a license. To get a license, it was to build a fence, put up some cameras,
right,
and get out the way. And they'll come, give you a final inspection, and now you are licensed to grow weed in the state of Washington.
How many people are growing weed, do you think, in the Seattle, Washington State region?
There's a lot.
There's a lot. There's over 1,100 producer-processors in Washington State and about 400 licensed retail stores.
Weed, everybody smokes weed.
There's so many people of all different types that smoke weed. We did a store visit, and we saw people come in and out. Grandmas, moms, professionals. Like, I'm sure if that store took demographics of their clientele,
right,
they would have a spectrum of different type of people.
People who like to get high, what do they want these days? There are so many choices.
Our biggest seller are the pre-rolls. People like ready-made cannabis.
People want to buy and get high.
Loose joints.
Loose joints, most people.
Really?
People don't like to roll.
They don't know how to roll joints.
No.
People, teach your children. Well, I mean, this is a basic life skill.
What do you smoke?
Well, I like to smoke, as I said, I like to smoke weed. The Alaskan Thunderfuck is an irresistible package.
Alaskan Thunderfuck?
Yeah.
That's old school Hell's Angels. That's their old school strain.
Did you smoke it?
Yeah, I can't compare and contrast because I've been trying them all one after the other.
Right.
I mean, I was smoking weed since I was 13.
Right.
You know, all the bad shit that was supposed to happen if you smoke too much weed didn't really happen. But looking into my own life, I have seen my ambition. There were things I was thinking about doing, but, once I start smoking some good weed, it's like, yeah.
In a nondescript-looking building in Bellevue, some very smart people are looking into things like how to stop hurricanes before they happen, ending malaria, and how to make the perfect hamburger. Nathan Mervold is the former Chief Technology Officer of Microsoft, a genius, an inventor, and a very wealthy man who's free to indulge his passions, most noticeably for cooking and all things food. Over the last years, he and his team have published an incredibly lavish and authoritative series of books, Modernist Cuisine, dedicated to debunking popular misconceptions and documenting the results with the best high-tech photography and graphic art imaginable. Head chef Francisco Migoya is leading the team into a new mission now, demystifying bread for all of us.
People like me, someone who's cooked his whole life, I live in terror of bread. Anything that rises, in fact, like a horse, senses my fear and insecurity and misbehaves. I'm tenuous with any doughs. You know, I see people who work with it all the time. They're slapping it around like it's nothing. I'm like this, and it always goes wrong on me. It just never quite right. Will your work help me in my...
It will help you, Tony. Bread is actually amazingly robust. Although we've got lots of recipes, recipes aren't as important as understanding sort of the fundamentals of what's going on. And once you do, it's really quite forgiving.
Few things are more mysterious and unknowable than the bagel. Can one perhaps create the perfect bagel, and with toppings that don't fall off? As a New Yorker, I'm inclined to say no, but now I'm not sure. And what is this? Bread in a jar? But what?
What is going on here?
This is the kind of sick thing we do. We wondered, could you can bread? By God, you can. This is rambabas.
Oh, I
which
love
is a bread in the sense it uses yeast.
Yes.
And we canned them. And now watch what happens when we open it up. Isn't that awesome?
It's really good. And how long will this stay in there?
9 months. And it
So
still
I can have
seems good?
perfectly fresh bread in 9 months if I just pop the top on a thing. But look, you know, jaded cooks and chefs like me, they still find there are certain unknowables or things that cause them to pause in the kitchen and gaze with wonder at the magic of something like bread. Aren't you afraid that in some way you're doing Satan's work here by quantifying magic? Food is a very romantic thing. It's usually experienced, at best, in an emotional way.
Absolutely.
By explaining it.
Absolutely, it's emotional. Absolutely, it can be art. But knowing how to do it right, to me, doesn't diminish that.
Across the water from my hotel in the Puget Sound, just outside the city limits, the wilderness opens up, and it's beautiful.
Lord of fire in the sky, getting level, neon devil, holy, holy in my mind, to abide and crucify with blue, blue sea, far away.
On Vashon Island, a clam bake with Dungeness crab, spot prawns, mussels, corn, and potatoes covered in kelp and steamed together under burlap. Old school.
Lord of fire in the sky, getting level, neon devil, holy, holy in my mind, to abide and crucify with blue, blue sea,
Chefs Grant Crilly and Chris Young worked with Nathan at Modernist Cuisine before breaking off to do their own thing, ChefSteps, a high-tech outfit dedicated to help people cook better with step-by-step video apps and interactive content.
Essentially, the way we look at it is our job is to help people cook a meal for their family, cook a meal for their friends where they're happy and didn't know they could cook that well.
Yeah.
Because we're kind of technologists too. We think, you know, there's a role for technology, but there's also a role for craft and tradition.
I think there's an element of uncertainty and risk that is very exciting to me when I cook. You know, it's the imperfections in life that are most interesting. If everybody knew how to sauce pasta correctly, I don't know that that would make me happier.
The kitchen is a pretty scary place for a lot of people. And so if you can bring technology in that takes that fear away because they know that it's going to come out well, they're going to be happy with the result, that'll get them to cook again. Coming from the guys who, you know, wrote Modernist Cuisine, we're trying to find that 21st century blend between YouTube and Instagram and technology and tools like that with the things that are great about cooking, which is sharing a meal.
I think you're missing a central dynamic here. I mean, why do people Instagram pictures of food? To share their wonderful eating experience? No, it's to make other people feel bad about what they're eating. It's like, look, I'm eating
I agree with that
all
for
these
sure.
incredible crabs, and you're sitting at home in some, you know, dirty underwear eating Doritos. I mean, hopefully.
I mean, Doritos are pretty tasty.
It is probably unfair to suggest that the Pacific Northwest and Seattle area have been home to a disproportionately large number of serial killers. But I'll do it anyway.
Chuck Taylor oysters here.
Wonderful, thank you.
Anything else I can grab you, gentlemen?
I'm good for now.
Good for now? All right, enjoy.
I'm going to try a fat bastard. That sounds interesting.
Fred Moody is a writer and bartender. Jack Wisner is a transit planner for King County Metro. And Knut Berger is a journalist and columnist for Seattle Weekly. Old school Seattle all. Taylor Shellfish Oyster Bar in Pioneer Square is old school too. The Taylor family has been farming more than 12,000 acres of tidelands in the Puget Sound, Willapa Bay, and the Hood Canal for over 5 generations, since 1890. With 3 restaurants in town, they know what they're doing.
I can eat these whole, head, tail, bones, and all?
Yes.
Whole local smelt, flash fried and served with pepperoncini, sambal aioli. Local Dungeness crab cooked and chilled with pickled ginger sauce. And oysters, lots of oysters.
Seattle has been for a very long time considered one of the more foodie, for lack of a better word, foodie cities.
Yeah.
And you ask me, well, why? Generally, they say the sheer abundance of really good ingredients.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got the ocean there. You've got cattle country and orchard country just over the mountains.
Yeah.
To say one of the things that's changed in Seattle is there's not just the Pike Place market, but every neighborhood has a market.
Has a green market.
Yeah, so those entrepreneurs have a place to sell. They can go to all the markets or just some of them, but it's really fantastic.
So everybody born and bred in Seattle?
I was, yeah.
Born here?
Yes.
Bellingham, which is... Oh, sure, serial killer capital of the world. I was at a bar there where both Ted Bundy and the Green River Killer had been patrons. Yeah.
Bundy was born in Tacoma. And that's
Right.
Yeah, there
The Hillside Strangler and
Hillside
also the Beltway Sniper.
Right.
The worst one was the Green River Killer.
Yeah.
Why is Seattle, the Pacific Northwest, such a magnet for serial killers? Any theories?
You know, people come here to hide out. They think, well, they look at the map and it's like...
The 2 mountain ranges are just a couple hours away.
Literally, you can hide bodies like a short drive from wherever you are.
So, convenient body dumping?
Body dumping. I mean, that's got to be part of it. You have all that lush greenery.
You're looking to dump a body. Seattle.
You know, I've always thought the rain was kind of part of it. You get to that stretch from, maybe October to February, and by the time you're in February, I mean, you want to become a serial killer. I mean, it's hard.
Apparently you can.
Is Seattle a teeming hive of serial killers? Or am I just an idiot with a morbidly overactive imagination and an attraction to the dark, ugly side of life? Meet retired homicide detective Mike Szynski, who for over 12 years specialized in cold cases in the region. We meet at the Shanghai Room in Greenwood, where Fred Moody tends bar. The North Star Diner next door provides nourishment. crab, bacon, and melted cheese is, when discussing dump sites and ligature marks, a must.
Why does it seem that there's a disproportionate number of serial killers in the Seattle and Washington State area? Do you have a theory on this?
Well, I don't think that most serial killers are went shopping for areas where they live. They just where they ended up. Well, when you're a detective for as long as I've been a detective, and you're around very evil people, it's a place where I don't want you to have to come and look at through my eyes. And I could talk to you about it and all that, but I hope you never have to see it like I seen it. Because, you know, it's a different place. It's a place you don't want to be. And
how many working serial killers do you think are out there right now in the Washington State area?
I would say, I mean, easily right now, easily over 75 people out here that are probably serial murderers. The FBI listed as
75.
Oh yeah, I don't care how nice it is here and, you know, fun Seattle and stuff, you know. I know how many evil people are running around here.
So, do you think these guys are holding down regular jobs?
But yeah, they can just go on and have their, you know, a regular, what would seem to us as a regular life. They can also have wives.
I always worry about I always wonder about the wives. It's like, don't you notice, you know, the mementos and the unusual odor coming from the crawl space? I mean, what the
John
fuck?
Wayne Gacy, exactly,
I mean,
you know, and dress, what's with the whole clown outfit?
I mean, first of all you gotta do is put on a clown suit, and already you're a suspect.
I've given to you, Jane, a torn and tattered love. Do you hear the tolling bells that ring down from above? I thought I'd rule like Charlemagne, but I've become corrupt. Now I crawl a promenade to fill my empty cup, and you're free again, one more time.
Mark Lanegan is, to my mind, one of the greatest living singer-songwriters making music today. His songs and lyrics, reflective of a long, hard life, cut me right down to the bone. His career has spanned 2 decades, beginning with the Screaming Trees in the 90s and continuing through numerous brilliant collaborations with artists like Queens of the Stone Age, PJ Harvey, Kurt Cobain, Uncle, Mad Season, The Gutter Twins, Isabel Campbell, and Massive Attack. Maybe you know him from such theme songs as this show.
Wow. Spicy.
Yeah, that's good.
Dinner with Mark and touring guitarist Jeff Fielder at Ocho in Ballard, where they serve up generous drinks and Spanish-influenced tapas.
You grew up around, what, two hours outside of Seattle?
Yeah, in eastern Washington, which is like countryside, ranching, farming community.
You don't live here anymore. You live in LA now?
Yeah.
How long since you left?
It's been 20 years.
Oh, wow.
But I come back here, you know, a couple times a year, play shows. I still have family in the city, and I think of it as home still, you know. I always will. It's just, it's the home I don't live in anymore.
We put on the long white dress while I burn when there's no more tomorrow. Will you walk with me underground and forget all the sadness and the sorrow? Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da.
So how long have you been playing music professionally?
Well, kind of the whole time, you know. I mean, I played my first gigs when I was 13. Been touring with Mark since about 2010.
What was the first time you were ever on stage? And where was it?
It was in my hometown. I was 15, and some guys I worked in a restaurant with had a band. They were older, and I sang at one pool party that they had.
What was the set list there? Covers or?
A lot of Van Halen.
Oh, wow.
Styx.
Oh, brutal. You have played and play with a lot of different people from different styles of music. I think a lot of musicians I know and have met would have a hard time with that. You seem to move effortlessly around.
I don't know, I've just been blessed, a lot of opportunity. I get to play with a lot of people whose music I really love, so I'm happy. You know, after having been in my own band for many years, and then suddenly, like, I'm taking jobs or I'm just playing part of somebody's set. At first, it was a little awkward, but then I grew to really love doing it because it was easy and fun, and there was no pressure. I did that for quite a few years, and I'm available to do that again if anybody wants me.
On the marble street, the procession spills in. At the white sea wall, waves crash and crash again. Darkness shining, disappearing. Day follows night, night follows day. Goodbye, goodbye to beauty. Goodbye, goodbye to beauty.
Are you at all sentimental about how Seattle used to be?
You know, I guess it's sort of like being sentimental about grade school or, you know, any time of your life that isn't around anymore. I miss some of the guys that were around then that aren't around anymore, you know, some of my friends. But, you know, that's life.
Goodbye to beauty.
Next to making a proper omelet or like wiping your own ass, knowing how to roll a joint is an essential life skill for any self-respecting member of society, in my view. Pay attention, people.
Stay here next to me. We just keep driving. Because of you, I see a light. A Buick's a century, a 73 like you. Some strange religion. Get my hands on some money, mama, and shot in the night. Stared down the past and just got my eyes. I almost called it a day so many times. Never known what it felt like to be alive. Like nobody else could be. honestly try. She looked past the scars and the burned out eyes, and could see I'm no easy ride. She's just the kind that might get you by. Some strange religion. This jack of diamonds kicked her heart around. Should've known they were walking on holy ground. And this life might eventually just be the end of me, but I'll still be with you. Then get here next to me. I'll just keep driving. I've been alive, and the Buick's a century 73 like you. Some strange religion. The Buick's a century 73 like you. Some strange religion.
Let us take you now to the island of short memories and the small village of fat hopes. It hardly featured on any map, but thanks to the civil war of lies, the small village of fat hopes had grown in importance for all the wrong reasons. They spoke in color in the village, as they did in most parts of the country. The cost of living made people purple. People often felt marooned. And the jokes were always black.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha-la-la-la-la, 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 sha-la-la-la-la.
The war is over. At the old hotel, the .50 caliber in the tower next door is wrapped up and attended by one sleepy guard. The main enemy today is not the soldiers, guerrillas, fighters, and suicide bombers of the LTTE, but the black crows who hover ominously over the breakfast buffet on the veranda. A man with a slingshot patrols the lawn, driving them away with an occasional shot. Colombo, capital city of Sri Lanka. Unlike the last time I came here nearly a decade ago, this South Asian island nation of 20 million does not feel on lockdown. There are no longer the military checkpoints and heavy equipment, sandbags, or barbed wire in between the airport and the center of town. There's a new democratically elected government voted in by a coalition of former adversaries. Everywhere you look, construction, expansion, new hotels, foreign money, something that looks a lot like hope. Hundreds of thousands of dead and missing later, the country is at peace and we can go where we want. Hopefully, people will be able to talk about their lives. Last time, they couldn't.
So this is the golf base green. It used to be a place for the English families to come and hang out on Sundays. And it was also the home of the first golf course in Sri Lanka. So this is our Central Park.
What are we eating today, by the way? What's good here?
So this is all Sri Lankan street food. All these kitchens are run by Muslims, so there's no pork dishes here. A lot of seafood.
Darshan runs several popular Colombo restaurants, including the Ministry of Crab. And when not catering to the needs of his customers, he enjoys simpler fare.
So what distinguishes between Sri Lankan cuisine and India?
I think our curries are lighter, and I think it's the access to seafood. Like if you look at Mumbai, it's 20 million people.
Right.
The oceans are under pressure. Here it's still clean. We can have access to great seafood anytime.
When did the war get bad?
It got really bad, I think, in 2005 onwards. It was really bad.
Yeah, we were last here in 2008. I mean, just to get to the hotel, I remember, from the airport, we had to go through one security cordon after another.
I mean, during those times, we had no idea when it was going to end. I've done business in this country and never knowing what a peaceful time to be.
How long have things been quiet?
Well, the war ended in 2009. It's been 8 years. I think it takes time for things to happen. Things have happened. The city's not overgrown. We're not overpopulated. Oceans are still clean.
Whatever the underlying problems were, do you think they are being addressed or will be addressed?
I think they are being addressed. Maybe a bit slow, but I think you'll find a difference. So the world has changed, and it's great to see stuff like this.
Evening fell upon the small village of Fat Hopes. Suddenly, they heard a noise that filled them with dread. There was, honestly, such a culture of fear. An incredible amount of self-censorship. We had death squads People, journalists, so many being disappeared. This kind of white van phenomenon where, you know, your loved ones were taken from you and you never heard from them again. There's still so many of those cases going on, and just a real feeling of fear.
From 1983 until 2009, Sri Lanka's bloody civil war divided the island in two, splitting the country along religious lines. Buddhist Sinhalese majority in the south versus Hindu Tamil minority in the north. Years of mistreatment and suppression led to the formation of the LTTE, or Liberation Tamil Tigers of Ilam, and their campaign to seek an independent state. The conflict ended in 2009, but an enormous number of internally displaced persons, or IDPs as they're referred to, remain in refugee camps.
Ladies and gentlemen, appearing now, and before it is too late, the traveling circus of refugees.
Colombo native Tracy Hall Singer is the founder of Mind Adventures Theater Company. Not long ago, to even talk politics, let alone stage a play deemed controversial, could be dangerous.
The play that you've been doing, it came from a book, The Boy Who
Speaks in Numbers by Mike Maslamani. It was first performed in November 2009.
Controversial, would you say?
Little. The play is about internally displaced people. After the end of the war, we had over 300,000 people in camps. The largest one of them was built to house 100,000 people, but ended up housing 227,000 people. Tents that were designed for maybe 5 people to be in had 10 to 15 people in them. There were no toilets in the camp. There were just these big pits. Living conditions for these people was intolerable. There are some communities, Anthony, in this country that have been displaced for 25 years. That means since the 80s, they haven't had a home.
Hurry up! Don't waste my time. What's in the bag?
It's just some clothes, madam.
Can't take anything inside the camp. Search this. Hurry up, next.
The play was staged at a time when all this was so raw for us. And there is no way to speak directly about what happened. I think it's still very difficult, not just for us, but for people to acknowledge that these terrible things were done to part of our community and our people.
Was this a perilous thing to do, and how was it received at the time?
You know, I didn't think about whether it was perilous or not, and that's probably bad on me because I involved all these other people. That scene is done, we're moving on. For me, the important thing was making sure that in whatever form it got out there, the play's out there and it reminds people that this happened.
We found the person responsible for trying to poison the minds of all you good people with these lies. She was sleeping amongst you, living amongst you. And there are many others like her. Let this be a lesson to you all. This is how we deal with traitors. Take her away.
No. No.
So, are things getting better?
I would say in one sense, we're not so afraid. You're not afraid to speak out. But also, I wouldn't say everything is wonderful. It's not. I think things are slowly being pushed, but it's too slow.
So, 20 years from now, are you optimistic, pessimistic? What do you think?
Sri Lanka, formerly known as Ceylon, was once the crown jewel of the spice trade. Its cloves, cardamom, pepper, nutmeg, mace, ginger, cinnamon, chilies, and curry, the envy of the world. These spices built empires.
Wow.
This is basically chicken curry.
Ah, very nice.
And then you have a potato that is spicy.
Right.
Then you have the beetroot. And this is one of the traditional sambals of Sri Lanka.
Right.
Kumar Lopez is a Tamil who works for the Sri Lankan Press Institute. We sit down for lunch at a local rice and curry joint.
So last time I was here was 9 years ago. Things have changed a lot.
I think, yes. I think the fact that you're able to eat today without even thinking that there could be a bomb that could go off at any moment.
Right.
It's itself is a bigger piece that you could expect for. But I believe that the piece can go to another stage, another level. In the mindset of those who have been impacted by the war, I think there needs to be further work to be done.
After World War II, the British left Sri Lanka. Over time, the Buddhist Sinhalese majority both excluded and repressed the mostly Hindu Tamil minority, channeling populist fervor to turn discrimination into law.
What is the generally accepted underlying reasons for the conflict in the first place?
The main cause or the main objective was to have a separate land for the Tamils. The underlying reason for that being there were discrimination, there were racism, and that basically brought them to the stage.
By 1983, the situation reached its boiling point. The LTTE began waging what would become a 25-year guerrilla war before government forces crushed them in a brutal final offensive.
I mean, the war was won militarily. Is everybody speaking now?
I think the underlying objective of the present government is definitely to bring about lasting peace. They have actually encouraged some of the business entities to go and invest in the north to give job opportunities. So peace is something that everybody is looking for.
So I'll be taking the train to Jaffna shortly. This is a big deal.
Oh, it was not running probably for the last 30 years.
Whoa, hasn't been running for 30 years.
It may not be running for at least the minimum 20 years.
Because of the conflict?
Because of the conflict.
Wow.
With the war over, Sri Lankans can now travel freely across their country, all the way north to Jaffna. Last time, we couldn't go there. Today, we will. Early morning, Colombo Station. The platforms bustle with a mix of commuters, long-distance travelers, and the occasional tourist. Breaking free from Colombo's gravitational pull, the landscape opens up. Second and third class compartments host a mix of people, smells, and slices of life. Commuters get on at one station, off at another. Others, like me, are in for the long haul, 10 hours to Jaffna. That the Jaffna queen runs at all is a symbolic move towards reunification. As the fight for an independent Tamil state in Sri Lanka's north intensified, the LTTE destroyed these tracks. For the last 2 decades of the war, Jaffna was all but cut off from the rest of the world. The LTTE, unable to match the military might of the Sri Lankan army, fought their war by other means, every means they deemed necessary. Acts of terrorism, suicide bombings, political assassinations brought government retaliation, and collective punishment of an equally terrible kind, and enormous in scale. The North suffered massive bombardments of civilian areas. Hundreds of thousands of Tamils ended up in refugee camps. By the time it was over, war crimes had been committed on both sides, those caught in the middle paying the ultimate toll. In the final weeks alone, at least 40,000 people were killed in a war the outside world knew little of. Nearing the end of the line, weary passengers awake to find themselves in a different world. Out the window, the air is thick with the smell of salt and sea. Jaffna is about as far north as you can go without hitting India. This is the homeland of Sri Lanka's Tamil ethnic minority, and during the Civil War, base of the LTTE Tamil Tigers. Remnants of the conflict are hard to miss. But on any given day down by the coast, the fish market buzzes, a hive of activity and commerce. Fresh product comes in, deals are made, money changes hands, life goes on.
Initially, before the war, the North and East contributed 40% of the GDP.
And now?
3%. So there were so many industries here, everything was destroyed. There was no electricity for a long time. We had a coconut farm here, about 100 acres, and it was completely destroyed during the war. There is not even a single tree without a bullet hole.
Like many Sri Lankan Tamils, Jana was born here, but with considerable regret, spent much of his life abroad.
Yeah, I mean, the fighting has stopped.
Absolutely, I mean, that's true.
What's changed?
A lot of things have been rebuilt. Slowly now they are focusing on rebuilding infrastructure. They are renovating all these ponds and lagoons, and now slowly business is thriving in this part of the country.
The underlying discontent, the given reasons for the war, is there a sense that those problems are being addressed?
The war was very brutal. And people, after 30 years, everybody is tired of war. We have a very affected population. There are about 30,000 war widows, like close to 25,000 orphan children, about 15,000 people who were landmine victims. From the government side, they are still a bit scared that there may be war popping up again. But slowly now they are addressing issues like employment-wise, opportunities-wise, and there are a lot of occupied lands. Now they are slowly giving it back.
So hopeful.
Yeah, I see the progress. What I see here is the human resilience. Like, after going through this war for 30 years, how quickly people here can rebuild.
So what's happening today? First of all, where are we?
This is a Kali temple.
And Kali is?
Kali is a destroyer of evil. People go and pray and have Kali temples in villages because it destroys evil power.
Both good and bad?
Yes.
Protector?
Protector, destroyer.
And destroyer.
Yes. Because Kali is also known for courage and valor. Like when people go to war and things like that, they go and pray to Kali to give them the confidence and the courage to go and fight.
After decades of cultural suppression, Tamils take great pride in their customs, traditions, and religious festivals. Around here, the Madai festival is the most auspicious day of the year for Hindus to balance their spiritual debts. Believers show devotion through suffering, enduring acts of great pain and hardship called cavities, or the burden dance. Cavities can take many forms. You can make a pilgrimage to the main temple on shoes made of nails, or roll there on the ground, often for a distance of several kilometers. These are some of the ways believers express gratitude to Kali or implore her for help. Ritualistic body piercing is another such expression.
It's a very interesting thing. They prepare for a long time. 28 days they fast, and they condition themselves mentally. And when they come to the temple, and there's a special ceremony which takes place, and they kind of chant and play drums and everything, so you get into a trance.
The greater the pain, the greater your dedication to your higher power. Well, let's just say viewer discretion is advised. islands off Jaffna's coast were holdouts during the Tamil resistance and saw heavy fighting. The people who remained, like the landscape itself, bear heavy scars. This was a conflict that left more than 80,000 women widowed.
Well, the whole island is very quiet. I mean, I did not see shops filled with people or children playing in yards or people in fields. It felt very, very, very quiet. Is that a good quiet or a bad quiet?
So it's an area that has been severely depopulated, as you would have noticed when you came here.
Now, when you say depopulated, people fled, people were killed, people were disappeared.
இங்க இருந்த ஆட்கள் யுத்த காலத்துல இங்க இருந்து வெளியே போனாங்களே.
1991 இங்க அதுக்கு ஏர்லியராக 22,000 people are in here, this village.
Within 3 hours in 1991, the entire area was evacuated of its population. People have only started coming back to live here relatively recently. A very small percentage of the original population that has come back here.
In Tamil society, as in much of the world, women have few rights. No official system to look after or support them. The North Ceylon Community Project seeks to address that problem, providing a home and training for women who might otherwise be living on the street. Gowrie is from this area and one of the organization's benefactors.
Culturally, a woman who's a widow who has lost her husband is a total social outcast and become terribly vulnerable to all other types of abuse because they have no source of income, they have no one to protect them, no one to look after them. So this organization has grown to be a safe haven.
Now, provide food, shelter, job training, some road to financial independence.
When they come here, they are given a place to stay. There is a group of women who come here for daily work. And there are different projects that are skills training projects for the women. And within this space, they're given the strength, the skills, and the opportunities to change their lives.
போரால பாதிக்கப்பட்ட காலத்தில் ஒரு ஆள் மட்டும் உழைச்சி குடும்பம் நடத்த இல்லாமல் கஷ்டப்பட்ட பிள்ளை அப்படியான ஃபேமிலியை தெரிவு எடுத்துருந்தாங்க. அவர்களையும் ஒரு உழைக்கிற கைக்கு கொண்டு வந்தால் வீட்டில் குடும்ப அமைதி ஏற்படும். அந்த வகையில் பணக்க மாற்றத்தை கொண்டு வந்திருக்கிறோம். அப்படி தெரிவு செய்ததன் காரணத்தில்.
So why stay? I mean, it's an obvious question. So many have left. Why stay here?
Where you come from is very important. So I think in this culture, it is about where your roots are, where your family history is.
What about these kids? When they're 16, 17, 18?
They are going to finish their education and then they're going to be looking for jobs. And those jobs are not materializing in these areas. So in the past, a number of young people would find ways and means, often very risky ways and means, to leave Sri Lanka and go abroad. So unless there is some really serious efforts to revive economic activities and investment, life is going to be very tough for these kids.
Ask anyone in Sri Lanka where to find the best food and they'll say, nobody cooks as well as Auntie. And it's true, trust me. Often possessing the strength of 10 men, Sri Lankan aunties are a force to be reckoned with. Jaffna crab curry might be, for me anyway, the holy grail of Sri Lankan cuisine. Spicy and fiery in a cuisine known for being spicy and fiery already. During the war years, it was hard to get crabs like this, and still is today, the majority being exported to other parts of the country and abroad. But in this time capsule of a home, it might as well still be 1953. I've been invited here by Dr. Ravi, his sister Jiva, and their beloved auntie, best cook in the family.
So there we have it. Welcome to Jaffna, welcome to paradise.
Thank you. Thank you. These are delicious, by the way.
You're great, aren't they?
Wow. Are they toasted and then?
They're sort of dipped in yogurt, dried, sun-dried.
Wow. This is a beautiful home.
Thank you very much.
Built in the 30s?
In the 30s, sort of late British period.
How is it that this remained in the family, that you were able to hang on, that you're still here?
So during the war, the Tigers lived here, and then the Sri Lankan army lived here for a little while. But my father kept coming back here, making sure that he made his presence known.
I think the thing is that it has a lot of, family stories. So even a lot of my cousins have a great attachment to this house. Can I get you some more crab curry?
Please, thank you. Thank you, so beautiful, thank you. So delicious. I've been to a lot of places just after really awful, awful conflicts. Some nations, there's a simmering and boiling sense of injustice, rage, humiliation, particularly when you have large groups of young people unemployed wandering around. Do you think that there's any possibility that if everybody doesn't get the recipe right, that we could see, another generation of adversaries?
Generally speaking, I think people want to get on with it. Because my generation, they certainly don't want to go back to that. I think the generation that might are the 5-6-year-olds at school now would have forgotten the horrors of war. And you go back to your AK-47, my 6 months in the sun.
I think I am optimistic, but I think that one of the first things that we need to build, is to build the trust amongst the people. There are lots of IDPs still in camps, and if they could be given back their lands, that might be useful to also jumpstart the economy.
It should be a paradise, yes? I mean, look out the window.
Yeah, absolutely.
Potential is incredible.
So, 20 years from now, are you optimistic, pessimistic? What do you think?
Have to be optimistic. You have to be. Empathy is everything. It's part of what makes us human. That's where we have to connect and understand each other. It's all very idealistic. I know that.
For some people, the hurts are too deep. For some people, it's too late for forgiveness or trust, or, you have, for example, communities that have been displaced 13 times over the past 25 years.
That's what you call a breeding ground for...
Trouble.
For trouble.
Yeah.
Sri Lanka has been through and endured a lot, far more than most. It's a lot to ask of any place to put aside such things as hate, fear, a desire for revenge. It might still be too much, but there is indeed, it appears, reason to hope.
Hi, Tony. Hey, how you doing, man? Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you. Greasing up the, what's that, grouper? No.
Yeah.
You put it on banana leaf, is it?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Any fishermen here?
Yeah, they're all fishermen.
Okay, so what happened during the war? Could you fish?
The biggest.
Straight through?
They only have to get the permission, and then they're limited for 1 kilometer.
Did people feel safe anywhere to do what they did?
Anytime, nobody felt safe. Curfew was installed here, 4 o'clock, otherwise you can be shot. These people have to make a living. They have to catch fish to feed their home, feed their family. So they have to go.
All right. Hey, what's up, bro? What's up, young man? Most of the world, when you've been through a struggle like this, so painful and so vicious, usually at the end of the day, people cannot say, look, I'm exhausted. Nobody wins here. We all want to live in a world where we can take care of our children. Are we at that point in Sri Lanka?
Jaffna people never beg, but they will fight. Please look at the future. Don't let the young people again to go and take up arms. Invest, develop, give them some guidance. These people that ran a war, these guys have had torpedoes, submarines.
Ingenuity.
They were also keen about destroying the war, terrorism, destroying the terrorism. They never value the strength of the people.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that how this ends? That's the story now.
It's a little depressing, no?
How about a message of hope? Yes. Yes.
All right,
Come on,
let's
let's
talk
talk
about it. Let's talk about it.
What is
Okay, let's go. Okay. Right. And then one day, the civil war of lies came to an abrupt end.
Harsh question.
Yeah.
Why should Americans watching this, why should we give a shit? Why should people care about Sri Lanka?
I guess I don't know why Americans should care. I just want Sri Lankans to care. The story has to go on, and for it to go on, we have to have some hope. Citizens were asked for what they most desired. And that is how peace came to the island of short memories. The warring parties fast realized that it didn't matter who won or who lost, because in the end, they were all on the same side.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la.
Pittsburgh is a city of neighborhoods, each with its own rites and rituals. A patchwork of cultures that took shape over a century ago. Back then, the city was a beacon of hope and possibility for people from all over the world, offering the promise of work, prosperity, a new life. Pittsburgh could have been another company town gone to beautiful ruin. But something happened. The city started to pop up on lists of the most livable places in America. It became attractive to a new wave of people from elsewhere looking to reinvent themselves and make a new world. And so we find ourselves asking the same questions we ask in other cities in transition. Are the new arrivals, new money, new ideas saving the city or cannibalizing it? Who will live in the Pittsburgh of the future? And will there be room for the people who stayed true, stuck with it their whole lives?
Oh man, I'm very happy about this. Sausage and peppers, one of my favorite things. All right.
Bocce, the ancient game of kings. Throw the little ball, try and get the other balls close. Closer than the other guys.
Shentan.
Gene, Uncle Gene, this is Anthony Bourdain.
How do you do?
103 years old. 103 years old.
Looking good.
He goes up and down these bocce courts faster than anybody else.
Wow. Delicious. This is a weakness of mine. You know, they have these street fairs in New York where they do the sausage and pepper stands. I cannot walk past one of those things without getting them.
That's more than anything else.
So how long have you lived in this community?
78 years.
So your whole life? Now, the first wave of Italians who came here from Italy, why did they come here? They come here for steel jobs, coal?
Actually, trade. I think they come here more for the trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plumbers, bricklayers, any kind of trade like that.
Some Italians said that they were told to come over here and they were going to find the roads paved with gold. They said they didn't tell us we had to build them first.
Yeah. How's the neighborhood changed over the years? Still predominantly Italian-American, or?
Yeah. It's not as much as it was, but it's still more Italian than anything else.
Well, for 35 years or so, it was a tough time for Pittsburgh. Why'd people stay?
Family. Familia.
I tell people, when you come to Bloomfield, don't talk about anybody because we're all connected somehow.
All right. On you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Perfecto.
Don't hit nothing. Go around. That's great.
Four. All room for four. Hey.
Uncle Eugene can take care of it.
Oh, man.
How old is he?
103-year-old Uncle Gene ruins my dreams of bocce immortality.
Come on, Orr.
And the weather, as if on cue, turns bad. An augur of doom, perhaps.
That's a shame.
And God himself appears to align himself against me, hurling all that beautiful zalzich and meatballs out of the cold, wet ground.
They're still good. That's still good. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I got to eat.
Oh, Arlene said, as they passed the old Nabisco plant, cleaned up and advertising condominiums. Have you heard how much they're asking for a one-bedroom? How much? $1.2 million. That is highway robbery. Who would honestly pay that to live in East Liberty? They're calling it East Side now. Who's calling it that? No one I know. It's a boondoggle if I ever saw one. Beside the greed factor, she didn't actually mind the condos. Better than leaving the building empty.
Stuart Onan is a local author who has written 15 novels, many set in Pittsburgh.
We're the city that made the steel, that beat the Confederacy, beat the Kaiser, built the skyscrapers, built the bridges, beat the Nazis.
Who came in the very beginning, lured by jobs in steel and...
Most of the people that came here, once the steel industry was in place, were people from Central Europe. They were blue collar, they worked long hours, they worked hard, dangerous jobs. They made the money to send their kids to schools to become white collar. At one point, I believe we were the 6th largest city in America. We're now 63rd.
Now, wait a minute. 6th largest in America, now 63rd.
63rd.
So,
yeah.
What happened?
Well, the steel industry began to falter in the 1960s, and by the 1980s, it was essentially dead. In the 1980s, this place was a ghost town. We lost half of our population. They went away.
Right.
And half of your population means at least half, if not more, of your tax base.
But, so what went right?
What went right? What went right, weirdly enough, was what went wrong. We became attractive to people outside of Pittsburgh because it's super affordable.
Bow down to your new masters, your techie future, the robot overlords of a shiny new Pittsburgh. The computer science program at Carnegie Mellon is one of the best in the country, inspiring an arms race between companies looking to recruit brainiacs for new fields of artificial intelligence, cutting-edge medical research, possibly cyborg super nerds who will no doubt revenge themselves on all of us for their painful high school experiences by crushing us between their synthetic mandibles. They are also good for business.
Thank you.
The Googlers who are coming in at the very top of the food chain. And they're walking into brand new housing. They're making 6 figures. They're 23 years old.
Right.
And you know, I think the old school, the people that have been here forever, are not happy about that.
I mean, you know, it's going to be all pencil necks like in 20 years. Bad breeding stock.
It's the problem of inclusion and exclusion, right? It's the American problem, right? It's what Fitzgerald writes about in Gatsby. Who is included, who's excluded, who's allowed in, who isn't.
Right.
And that's the worry, that we're going to forget the people that have lived through it and have stayed here and had no choice but to stay here.
Pittsburgh's Deutschtown is home to one of the oldest German clubs in the U.S. Immigrants founded it in 1854 to preserve a link to their motherland. Today, a new generation is leaving their mark on the city. Justin Severino opened his restaurant Cure as an ode to flesh, smoke, and animal fat. Maggie Meske designs and creates cocktail programs at bars and restaurants across the city. And Sonia Finn was here from the beginning, planting the flag for farm-to-table cooking back in the early days with her restaurant, Dinette. The countryside around Pittsburgh is beautiful, another world. I join a group of foodie all-stars about 20 miles outside of town for a meal.
Are there typical iconic Pittsburgher qualities?
So you probably worked here and brag about working here. You complain about millennials. You complain about the people on the street harassing you. You don't like anything new.
Right.
At all.
You're describing me.
The menu is looking good, right in my happy zone. Racks of pork rib, grilled hearts of escarole and turnips, a sauce made from the pork drippings, and 4 types of sausage.
They're not now.
Look at this. Whoa.
This is amazing.
That's Titanic. I don't want to speak about Pittsburgh in a dismissive way, but it was not known for being what it is today. People are talking a lot about the food scene here. It was not always so. So what were people eating before?
You know, steak and potatoes. You know, living in San Francisco, as a young person in your 20s, you were going out to eat. That was really important, and we all knew about the restaurants, whether you were in the restaurant business or not.
Right.
And that wasn't Pittsburgh. And when I opened Dinette in 2008, you know, I'm expecting people like me to be coming in. I'm 29. That's who I'm building this restaurant for, and everyone was
56.
my parents' age or older.
You know, I thought to myself, I'm going to this neighborhood that's basically desolate. I'm going to take this building it's a restaurant that's been closed for 7 years, and, you know, I'm going to do something nice here. You know, I didn't expect the reaction I got from the actual people that lived around me.
Right.
You know, which was not positive. They liked it the way it was. You know, that was their life. And,
right.
You know, I move in, and all of a sudden, I open this restaurant, and people with nice, fancy cars are taking their parking spaces.
Right.
And now I'm a yuppie gentrifier.
Well,
you know what I mean?
You know, own it.
Sometimes it kind of hurts, right, as a restaurant owner or a small business owner, because there are always haters out there, and you feel like, okay, so somebody wants me to be a small business owner and take care of my employees, and then also on me, they're going to talk about gentrification, right? Like you're just trying to do your thing. You're just trying to do something good.
Right.
And you're trying to do it for you.
Yeah.
And you should.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, for me, it's different. Like, I definitely was thinking about the neighborhood when I did it. Like, I'm not some egomaniac who thinks that, like, just putting out my food is a reason to, like, so everyone can enjoy the, like, artistry of my food. That's why I'm opening a restaurant. That's not the point.
Well, I mean, not to disagree with anything that you just said, but like, I didn't open Cure in Lawrenceville because I wanted to change a neighborhood. I honestly did open Cure for me, 100%. I was like struggling professionally, struggling personally. Cure was all about satisfying me, like 100%.
If I'm running a high-end restaurant in Pittsburgh, who am I employing as porters, dishwashers?
Honestly, like
students.
Our dishwashers they're white kids.
No way.
Yeah. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is a big, bright, shining star of an example of what blue-collar America, I think, was 100 years ago.
When we're looking at, like, who's applying, we also need to look at neighborhoods. The topography of Pittsburgh is such that, like, neighborhoods are separated by
bridges
and ravines.
Yeah,
and
rivers
this sort
and
of
all this
thing
other stuff,
means
yeah.
that, like, people stay within their neighborhood.
Everybody's talking now about a Pittsburgh Renaissance. There are artists coming, there are new restaurants. Somebody's making money. Money's definitely coming in. Is it lifting all boats?
No, it is not. The new Pittsburgh attracts new people, but it doesn't change the life for those workers who were left behind and kind of spit out.
This is the Hill District, traditionally African American. The numbers here do not indicate a renaissance. Black homes take in half the income of their white neighbors, and African American youth are 6 times as likely to be arrested, go through the system from which many can never break free. When activist Salahuddin was growing up here, the neighborhood was thriving, the golden age Harlem of Pittsburgh.
They used to call this city hell with the lid off. The mills ran 24 hours a day. I grew up at a time when most adult men in the neighborhood, in the morning, I saw them getting up and going to work. My dad, for example, dropped out of school, but was still able to find work that paid enough to raise a family. My mother had 12 children.
And your dad was able to raise 12 kids?
That's right.
Oh, not. Wow. That was a very different America.
That was a very different America.
How you doing, Solid?
Good, good. This is where I live. This is where I grew up. All of this area, this whole flat parking lot area that you see, this is where we lived. Devastation. They just completely devastated our whole neighborhood.
In the 1950s, the city came up with a plan to revitalize the Hill District by leveling large swaths of it. 8,000 residents, including Sala, were displaced. And instead of new housing, the land was used to build a hockey arena.
Difficult, painful memories of what used to be, and now we see suburbanites coming in to have a good time, visit the Penguins. They don't live here, they just play here, and they don't know the pain that this playground caused.
What's the missing component here?
What's missing is an economic plan that includes everybody, not just the techies and the computer geeks, but regular people.
By day, a mild-mannered dentist in training, but at night, she becomes, well, a superhero. Brittany Baker is a star of the International Wrestling Cartel. Tonight, she defends her title in a battle of the Wrestling Titans. Boyfriend Adam Cole hopes to win a championship of his own.
What do you think it's big here?
In Pittsburgh?
Yeah, what is it about Pittsburgh that...
Pittsburgh is a big sports city in general. We have the Penguins, the Pirates, the Steelers.
They're so proud of their sports teams.
They are.
They're also very proud of their wrestling organization.
Everyone's independent. No one's like contracted. You work where you want to work and how you want to work. The big town, small city vibe.
So the fact that it's not WWE is a point of pride.
Yep. To me, wrestling fans are the most passionate fans of any form of sport or entertainment.
I will confess to you that I took a dim view of professional wrestling. Like I thought,
okay,
yeah, it's not real. It's like these outrageous characters. I don't get it at all. And my daughter started to get really into it with her best friend. So I got tickets to WWE in New York, and I go in. I'm like, I want to wear a bag on my head because I'm like really embarrassed to go to this thing. This is going to be totally lame. Well, 5 minutes into this thing, I think this is like the greatest show on earth. It's physically very, very demanding, and more to the point, it's super dangerous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, most wrestlers get really busted up. Some of these pile drivers, neck cranks, body slams. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You can get that wrong.
It's
bad.
Everything can be gone in a second.
Wrestling is inches in many scenarios. Like you said, with like a pile driver, if you're off even by a little bit, that could be a broken neck.
A lot of trust.
Yeah.
Right before he's about to go out and wrestle, I always grab him, maybe like give him a kiss, and be like, be safe, be safe.
Every aspiring wrestler, since the great local hero Bruno Sammartino, needs nourishment. In this case, kielbasa, sauerkraut, some pierogies, and a side of molten mac and cheese.
Oh, I should ask. Are you the heavy? What is it? The heavy or the what's the bad guy called?
The heel.
The heel.
The heel.
Are either of you the heel or are you the?
She's a big baby
I'm a
face.
mega
I'm a
baby
big
face.
heel.
Yes.
So babyface is who everybody wants to win.
Yes.
You're a heel?
I am.
So what qualities is one looking for in a heel?
It's just being someone that an audience member either doesn't want to be or wants to see get their ass kicked.
So overconfident.
Yep.
Narcissistic.
Yep.
Sneaky.
Uh-huh.
It's good.
Yeah, exactly.
You might be good. You got it.
You could
You'd
be a
great
heel tomorrow. Yeah.
Comes naturally. Is it a sport or is it more of a cathartic emotional experience? Because it goes beyond sport. There's nuance there. There are tortured souls who are struggling with the good and evil in themselves.
Wrestling is live theater, it's sport, it's a rock concert, it's all this stuff wrapped into one. I think when people realize that pro wrestling has more in common with Game of Thrones than it does UFC, they accept it more and they appreciate it for what it is.
Come to the Yoja corner, where the kolbas is delicious, chunky too, tasty too, make your belly feel so good. Everybody, come to the Yoja corner. Come to
Alexander Yoza Bodnar fled Hungary during the Soviet Union's crushing suppression of their revolution in 1956. At Yoza Corner, he runs what's not really a restaurant in the classic sense, but a house party with food. Classics from the old country like chicken paprikash, langosh, and kobas.
Cheers.
My dining companion is part of a more recent wave of immigrants. Jamilka Borges moved here from Puerto Rico in 2007 and began working in what was then a restaurant scene that was just getting started.
You spent your whole life in Puerto Rico before you came here?
I did. I moved here when I was 21, and I don't know. Pittsburgh is like really unique, like in the sense that everybody knows each other. It's such a small town that like you know everyone, and it was really easy to make friends, and that made it easier.
What about culturally? How different? Oh, cucumber salad? Cucumber salad. Beautiful.
It's very much like a really white town. Like, you go to every single restaurant and like, it's white males. People not even understanding like the relationship that we had as a country with Puerto Rico. Like, no, I don't need a green card to work here, right?
10 years later, she was running Spoon and getting national attention for her Latin-influenced take on new American food.
Why did you decide to stay?
Like, I wanted to cook, which I had no clue what that meant. And I needed to prove something, like for me, for my family, for like, I don't know.
Spite.
Yeah, it's spite. It was
spite.
like,
Look,
no.
that's a powerful
It was like a kind of like my family had no clue what I was going into. I still remember like my grandmother being like, you're gonna be what? Like Puerto Rico, like my grandma's vision was like, oh, you either cook for your husband or family, or you're like professional help.
Certainly, when I started in the business anyway, it was pretty much a boys' club in the kitchen. What was it like here when you started? Was it different here?
No, it was, and I think to a certain degree, still is. Like, this mushroom guy who comes every year, he knows who I am, and I'm like the only person like with a clipboard in white, and he's still like, can I talk to the chef? I'm like, that's me, I'm on the side of...
Let me smack you and write chef backwards on your forehead. So, who's coming to town now? I mean, who are your customers?
So, you know, last 3-4 years, we have been having like new move of like 30s, like young, mid-20 somethings to 30 something, like engineers and like tech people moving into town.
That's good for business.
Sure, but...
You seem wary about the future. Do you think this is a bubble, or do you think it's going to keep growing?
I think I'm usually like a really positive person, and I'm like, I want it to work. Yes, I am definitely worried. I think that the city is growing fast, and like, I don't know if we're able to keep up with it.
This is not my town anymore. When I was young and growing up, we're shooting craps and chased by the cops. Now I'm sitting around with a bunch of people talking about hops. This is not my town anymore.
The town of Braddock is where Andrew Carnegie built his first steel mill in the 1870s. By the turn of the century, he bought another one up the river, the Carey Furnaces. These smoke and fire-belching behemoths were the heart of a steel-producing industry that spread throughout the Monongahela River Valley, generating wealth and power to the few and a decent living to many.
When tomorrow comes, you'll have a better so-called today. So your thinking of the day will decide your destiny and your future. And if you don't succeed, it's your own fault because you didn't take control of what you think. Because what you think is going to decide what you do, and what you do is going to decide what you get. That's all for today, fellas. Let's go to work.
For the last 40 years, Tony Bourdain has been making documentaries about the fate of the working class in Braddock. He grew up here during the town's heyday, the 40s and 50s, before leaving to go to film school. Why'd you come back?
Why'd I come back? I was gone from like 68 to about 75. Then I came home and I saw everything's decaying even more. And the people I hung out with, like this Sal, Carilla, and other guys, they were these really characters.
She could push the button on me. No one's gonna push the button on me. Nobody. Nobody. The only guy who can do that is that guy up there, JC. JC, my man. He's worth.
A lot of World War II people that were starting to die off. And I was really like, this is going to disappear. And the industry's going away. So I didn't know what else to make films about, so I just started documenting it. And I just wanted to capture it and get some of these characters on film and make them mythical.
But you stayed in Braddock because Braddock was your subject.
It was my subject, and I thought, okay, what if I move? If I move to Los Angeles, maybe I'd get a job in industry, but what if I got stuck working on a Love Boat my whole life? You know?
Well, yeah, that would be the nightmare scenario.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
In the mid-20th century, the population of Braddock was 20,000. Today, it's down to 2,000, more than 40% of whom live below the poverty line.
No, this is where I went to junior high school.
Closed?
Yeah, closed.
So who's moving in? Is anyone moving in now?
Nobody's moving into Pittsburgh, actually.
Well, I thought you had all these tech jobs coming in.
Yeah,
Google and Uber and...
all that stuff is coming in, but they sort of do this upbeat bullshit about people coming in. If it wasn't for some 30,000 immigrants, the population would have dropped even more.
Now, this is the brewer.
Right. Yeah, they've done really well with this place.
Well, who drinks there? I mean, are they locals?
No, it's too expensive, $7 a beer. There's people coming in on bicycles, grabbing a beer, getting some from the taco truck, and they want to sort of have like the Wire experience, you know? Yeah, I was in Braddock having a beer, you know, sort of they're giving a little cred to their lives, I don't know. And it's all sort of, you know, white businesses.
In 1988, the state classified Braddock as financially distressed, their term for bankruptcy, a status it still holds today. This is still working?
This is still working. It's the only plant working in the whole Mon Valley. This is my dad worked for 46 years. The last time I was there, it looked like a spaceship. It was also modernized. There's probably 500 people doing the work. You know, when my dad was there at 5,000.
So what do you think it's going to take? Or do you think it's just going to die?
I figure we're in the last stages of capitalism.
But you're talking socialism.
Yeah, I'm talking socialism, yeah.
When the magical workers' paradise arrives, will Braddock be here?
Will Braddock be here? Wish there was like a simple answer to all this. I'll die before I actually see what happened. I'm not going to know the story, and it really bothers me. It's the only thing I hate about the thought of dying, is I don't know what the story's going to be.
Braddock, Pennsylvania, sustained a real traumatic unraveling that was common in Rust Belt communities and towns, but ours was a particularly severe example of that.
Average income?
We're around 20,000, so
it
was substantially below the Pennsylvania average.
Yeah, I'll have mothers that will call me on a Monday, and by Friday they're going to be out of food to feed their 3 kids, and this happens quite regularly.
John Fetterman does not look like your typical mayor, and he isn't. He came to Braddock in 2001 to help at-risk youth get their GEDs and ran for office here in one of the most depressed towns in the state 4 years later. His wife, Giselle, is from Rio, and she runs a nonprofit that provides food and essential supplies for more than 1,500 families each month.
A lot of people in this country are angry. They feel that their anger has not been acknowledged in any way. And frankly, I think they're right.
Yep.
There was a sense, particularly in rural white America, of aggrievement that nobody's listening, nobody's caring about them.
Well, I mean, Western PA played a pivotal role in helping elect Donald Trump, and he turned Pennsylvania red for the first time since '88, and did it so with a margin of about 44,000 people, a lot of whom, as you referenced, are disaffected Democrats. Somebody phrased it to me where it's like, if the economy's not going to work for me, then I don't want it to work for anybody.
How does that manifest itself on a local basis for you?
It's an honor to be involved, and I hope whoever it is that's next realizes that you need to go outside your community's borders to bring help in, and that's what I've tried to do.
That means people like 4-time Super Bowl champion Franco Harris. And if you're wondering how he could help, you might be surprised by the answer.
Franco and I hope to be growing medical marijuana about a block from here. We put in an application for a large grow facility here in our community, which would be a real economic shot in the arm, and it's been a real honor to partner with someone like Franco.
Why is this a cause for you?
I'm a believer in medical marijuana because of pain management. And I've run into many ex-players who deal with pain management. And right now, the alternatives don't look good, and we're having a lot of problems with the alternatives.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
That they've had.
You know, Western PA has been ravaged by the opioid crisis.
Right.
And it positions us for the eventual legalization of marijuana, and
It would also pull Braddock out of Act 47, so we would no longer be fiscally bankrupt.
Braddock lost its initial bid for a medical marijuana license, but there are a few other madcap entrepreneurial efforts in town. Lone dreamers with a plan. One such dreamer is chef Kevin Sousa. Kevin was one of the first of a new generation of chefs to bring national attention to Pittsburgh when he opened his restaurant, Salt of the Earth, in 2010.
What are we looking at here, Chef?
All right, so we are landlocked, so seafood is tough. This is Lake Erie walleye pike, some new potatoes from the farm, some of the crackling from the fish, took the skin, crisped it up, it's nice and crunchy, and then just a lot of little farm herbs.
Now, after some bumps in the road, he's improbably turning this building, a former Chevy dealership, into his latest restaurant, Superior Motors. Opening night is less than a month away.
do I have to eat this? I mean, it's too pretty. It's too pretty to eat. Jeez.
The fish was amazing, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much.
Where were you born and raised?
McKees Rocks.
Close to your roots?
Yeah, in locality and in spirit.
Is the restaurant business any? I mean, because I know it's been bumpy for you.
It has.
You overexpanded.
Overexpanded with no capital. I just thought we were going to open the doors and everyone was going to go apeshit for whatever it is that I served, and I learned. As serendipity would have it, I met John, asked if I'd be interested in going for a walk in Braddock, came out to Braddock, fell in love.
With Braddock now.
With Braddock. It reminded me of McKees Rocks, and McKees Rocks, has suffered much in the same way as Braddock has.
Kevin says he has ambitions that go beyond turning a profit. His restaurant hopes to provide tuition-free training, and they're partnering with a local urban farm that employs high school students to grow produce in the shadows of the old steel mill. And though we are talking a swank, high-end restaurant designed to attract the moneyed classes from out of town, locals will be offered steeply discounted meals.
So this is beautiful grass-fed beef short ribs sitting on a bed of lightly blanched milkweed buds on top, a bunch of overwintered sun-choked chips.
Awesome.
That's the compliment.
Yeah. So what happens if everything works out the way you want it to? Meaning people are driving from all over the state, they're flying into Pittsburgh from all over the country. The parking lot is full of places, packed and fully booked every night. Then what happens?
You're moving towards the G word, and
which word? No, not yet.
Braddock is gentrification proof, essentially. Our biggest challenge has been abandonment, not people being displaced. To directly answer your question, Chef, long after I've shuffled off this mortal coil, the work will never be done here. This is a decades-long process.
If you head east 30 miles from Pittsburgh, you'll find yourself here in New Alexandria. It's a whole other world. No tech incubators here or fears of gentrification. Just good heartland fun on a Friday night. Family, fried dough, and demolition. Brooke Davis grew up a few towns over from here. Tonight, she's driving in the modified class, which means these cars ain't exactly street legal. The winner gets $900.
So how long have you been doing this?
Like getting into it, like 6 years.
And how did it all begin?
Well, my dad, him and my uncle, ran back in like the 80s and 90s, and it's just been something I grew up with, so.
I mean, the only other thing we really do for fun is we four-wheelers, razors, side-by-sides, and hunt.
Chris Quensler's a welder and considered one of the best demo mechanics in the area.
What are the rules as far as the vehicle itself? I mean, can you build, theoretically, you're allowed to build some monster road warrior, thing with some guitar dude on the front and special hidden reinforcement and spikes
No,
and
it's
shit?
not death race. It's not death race.
But Brooke is one of the best girl drivers, female drivers that I've seen.
Wait a minute, what's the difference between male and female drivers? Is there any?
There's not very many females that actually compete with the guys.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be great to see some big meathead fall to his knees sobbing after you just totally
Maybe.
destroyed?
Depends on
Some
who
guy's
they
been
are.
talking shit all week.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That would have to be good.
Yeah.
So tonight, are you going to
Probably I'm the only girl that's running out there with
Well,
guys.
let us hope that tonight is your night. I'm going to give it another shot.
Yes, cheers. Thank you.
Point of the game is
Be the last car running.
right. Now, what's the sweet spot? Where do you want to hit a
Wheels
car?
and tires.
Yeah.
Wheels and tires.
Yeah. I like to look for the weakest car, get them out of the way first. I'm running with guys that have been running for a really long time. Sometimes they think I'm an easy target. Maybe I might get scared, but it's definitely not like that. I can battle it out to the end. I'm not gonna quit.
What's the best part of driving? I mean, other than winning, obviously.
I was gonna say winning.
My best moment of driving is anytime it comes down to me and my brother or one of me and my friends, when you get down to the end knowing you beat everybody else.
So when you destroy a friend's hopes and dreams, that's...
Oh, it's the best.
By the end, most cars are worse for wear. Brooke comes in third place, so she doesn't walk away empty-handed.
So I present her a $50 bill. We start off back up.
All over western Pennsylvania, from small towns like this to the largest city, Pittsburgh, people face the same struggles as beleaguered, deindustrialized areas across the country. How do you move into the future and hold on to what you love about the past? There are probably no easy answers. Things will change. They are changing. But for now, let's just wreck some cars. southern Italy, the heel of the boot. Remote, vast open spaces. The red earth here has a magnetic pull. Raw, alternately charming, and savage.
Now, in the annals of food, this is like a divisive dish. Basically anything with ricci, also known as uni. We call it sea urchin roe. This is truly one of the greatest things on earth. God damn.
Despite its uncanny beauty, southern Italy's Puglia and Basilicata regions are some of the least populated, least visited, least known parts of the country. A mix of sea, hills, valleys, and rich earth. The food here is Italian, but completely its own.
A little garlic, pepperoncino, parsley. Sea urchin, some kind of fish, fumet. Pasta, that's it. Oh, incredible. I've never been to this part of Italy before. A lot of blue here. Light browns and ochres and white. I don't know, you just look at this place, it demands a big space. As I walk around, I'm always humming with these Ennio Morricone scores. For a few dollars more, Once Upon a Time in the West. So good. Sort of meal. Makes you want to start smoking again. Oh, grazie. Oh, God, that's good. Jesus.
Feudal, ungovernable, it was believed once that civilization and Christianity would never reach this far south into the heel of Italy's boot. A lawless land filled with folklore and tales of spirits and possession. A blood soup of Christianity and paganism.
I had an extremely handsome brother, and I was a little I was like an elf. So I kind of didn't get the attention from the mother that my brother did. I have very big lips as a child, and she always used to say that I should have plastic surgery. But when you see my daughter, Sophia, she's got my lips.
Yeah.
But they look good on her.
Up in the mountains, you find tiny medieval-era villages like Bernaldo, seat of the paternal family roots of this man, Francis Ford Coppola.
Welcome, benvenuto. Thank you.
One of the greatest filmmakers of all time.
You have deep roots here.
My grandfather always told the stories of Bernaldo Bella. And oddly enough, he never had gone back once he left as an American immigrant. But it became mythical to me. The story is that the family originally came from Lecce, and someone got the sister pregnant, and they killed him. And then they became briganti. So they were one step ahead of the law, and then they settled down and became laborers in olive fields. And that's really the origins of the Coppola family. Because the South was so oppressed by the North, it stayed the same. They haven't had 1,000 years of cheap gyp the tourist. And you come and you can walk out in the street, you're in a real Italian town where the people don't know anything about it. They'll invite you to their house for dinner here, quite innocently. How long that will last, I don't know. What we're looking at here is a food. I thought you'd get a kick out of lambrascione, or my family call it lambrajune. It's the bulb of a flower, a hyacinth.
Wow.
You score it, then you put it in deep fry, and that turns into a flower.
Beautiful. Oh, wow. This is incredible. So you may have some history with this house. I mean, was it your grandfather was boning the help here? Was it?
You know, heard that story. My grandfather was, they called him Zumpe Balcone. He was girl crazy. And he would go up on the roof and go down to where the maid was, Palmetta, and conduct this affair. And so when I found this place years later, there was in fact a roof leading to a housemaid's, and I fantasized that perhaps that was where it happened. Dove, we have to have more food. Prende the seconda. This is a dish, we called it codene. How do you call it?
Potenna.
Yeah, this is like basically, my father said,
Big skin.
This is the football.
Wait a minute, you had this at your dinner table as like a young man, as a kid?
a little kid.
Wow.
I hated it.
Of course.
But now I don't.
Oh, so good.
We're dining at Palazzo Margarita, not the ancestral home of generations of Coppolas, but might well have been the one-time manor house of those who lorded over them while they worked in the fields.
During Mussolini time, every town had a podesta, the official of the fascist party. And this family was the podesta.
Oh.
The ladies here were so, you know, snobby. I mean, we are low-class Italians. They were more high-class Italians.
It took years and a lot of money converting the once grand but decaying mansion into a boutique hotel.
You know, when you bought this place, is there a sense of vengeance?
You know, by then, The Godfather had come out 40 years ago.
I mean, look, it's not about the film. It's about a historical correction.
There's a saying, you know what Italian Alzheimer's is? Do you know what it is? You forget everything but the grudge. This is the only internal garden in Basilicata. I don't think any of the normal people had ever been permitted to visit it. So I was happy that normal people were going to be here. The Godfather was a weird experience in my life because it was so much more successful than I could have ever anticipated, so that I became well known around the world in ways that was almost embarrassing. And so when I came here, they made me an honorary citizen, and they had the little school children out in a parade. And if I think about it, as a new kid in a school, my greatest fear was embarrassment. Oh, here's Francis. He's the new student. No, Francis is a girl's name. I was embarrassed in front of everyone, and I was a total outsider. And then when I became on the other side of the Godfather, when I became so well known, I was also an outsider. So I've always been an outsider. What's in there?
Some lamb chops.
Oh,
and,
lamb chops, okay.
Some lamb head.
Oh, the capucel is in there?
It's over there.
So you're getting a whole lamb's head.
Oh, look at this. Here we go. Come on out, man.
Oh, that's very
Here
good. Is this
we
for
go.
me?
Give me a plate.
Oh, okay. Mmm.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Come here, little one. Hello, sweetie pie.
Hello.
This is my friend. No, we went last night, and it was so great. We went to the local circus. The tigers and giraffe and water oxen.
Did you go to the circus? Was it good? Cool. What was your favorite part?
When the giant fake gorilla came.
Bellissimo. Che porto, eh?
That smell,
The smell of the port. It's some dead fish. It's not fresh fish. It's
I
dead
don't hate that
fish.
smell either.
No.
Today, we fish.
Ah, e allora?
No, puoi tenere le scarpe.
Ma no, me le tolgo.
Va bene. Franco, tira sotto, Franco. Vabbè, va fatto già, vai.
For once, I'm confident of success with Dino and Franco and their trusty wooden gozzo, as they call these boats.
Ciao, Vito!
And for good luck, I have Asia Argento along, who in addition to directing and acting in films for like the last 30 years, has spent a hell of a lot of time doing this.
No, ridi da posta sono.
Ah, la vedo, non è così.
Se vuoi ti aiuto io di qua.
Ah, metto...
Devi lavorare all'impiedi se vuoi imparare.
Oh,
non
ma
sei
io lo
brutta.
so, guaglio, l'ho fatto 1000 volte.
Ma sai quanti
Io
scappi
faccio le gambe, madonna mia.
Oh, Cristo, te puccione.
Dai, hai visto come so forte? Oh, quasi un uomo.
Sì, le donne sono quasi uomini.
You've never done this?
I've done this. I've stood there and watched somebody else do it.
Oh, eccolo il scorfanello. Scorpion fish.
Oh, nice.
A little one. Okay, Anthony, dai, take over.
Ciao, Magno, non ha perduto un senso, dai, che cacchio.
It's good for the hangover. No, forearm. It's very good for the hangover.
Viene leggera?
Sì, sì. Oh, che bello! È il serpente di mare.
Beautiful. You're making him talk like a little hand puppet, too. He's like, he's already had his little hand.
Hey, you had too much to drink last night.
Non morde, dai!
Ma lo so, ma la testa...
Sì, se lo vuoi ammazzare ti tiro un morso in testa.
Ma non c'è la parola in italiano per uno quando si sente il giorno dopo che si è ubriacato, come ti dice?
Ubriaco.
There's no word for hangover.
We have to invent a
It's
word
incredibly
for hangover in
optimistic and
Italian.
unusual.
Yeah, I know, there's none.
Non è che diciamo
Because
che
it's shameful.
Oh!
Bravo!
Hanno pescato in due, quando si vogliono bene, quando due, eh? Oh. Vabbè, va! Ehi! Mette buche?
want to see what's inside his gut.
Maybe a half-digested Speedo.
That sounds goodness.
You know, you're enjoying that a little too much.
Any notions I had of spending an idyllic afternoon by the shore are quickly dashed when I discover it's a religious holiday. Which apparently means Italians grease up, strap on their tiniest bathing suits, and hit the beach en masse. Our intrepid fisher folk and some friends collaborate with Ozzy and me on a picnic/barbecue/beach party.
Okay, and the 2 lobsters. Look at all that roe. Oh, that tamale.
Che bello.
Questo è lo cotto alla monopolitana. L'ho cotta come mi ha insegnato mia madre.
Come si fa?
Questa si mette prima olio, aglio e cipolla.
Sì.
The sauce, see all those little fish paid off. They're going in already, my God. You're not waiting. Good, I'm in.
Oh, manana. They're hungry.
Yeah,
Oh, starving.
Super.
Joe.
It's good. Joe.
Joe. Mi sono dimenticato il nome, la verità.
The lobster looks great, mamma mia. La femmina bugiarda m'ha lasciata. E tu, poverina, vieni a mangiare.
Ani, stai zitta, che è poco per noi. Che facciamo? Dopo facciamo...
Pensa, va, terribile.
Chi ti hai chiamato? Bravo, Franco, come sei bravo a pulire.
These are incredible.
These are incredible.
They're so sweet.
Yeah. Sì, vino.
Guarda un po', mia moglie sta guardando. Che se non sta,
Se non sta guardando?
Ne faccio 2 bottiglie di vino, ormai lasci se l'ho preso.
Aspetta, quello.
Oh, look at this.
Ma è vuota!
È finita già.
This is a uniquely Italian thing.
With the speedos.
The banana hammock.
The what?
Banana hammock.
In America, people don't want to get a tan like this.
Yeah, they don't want to reveal that much about themselves. It takes a
so they
mystery out of
wear the
big boxer. You know,
boxers.
keep them guessing until it's too late.
Bisogna anche vedere. Ma quella che
dici
messo
che
qualche
poi cresce?
calzetta.
Ah, ci mettono
O qualche
dentro.
cetriolo. No, non lo so.
Come mettono
gli salami.
Ah, il salame.
Come la proposta di un elefante. Chi te lo dice? Tu te li puoi aspettare.
It's like an elephant trunk. Oh, it can grow incredibly.
Oh, he's a grower, not a shower.
Ma questo è tutto a registrare sta.
A dove? Oh!
Ah sì! Vivi morto. Oh sì!
The heel of Italy's boot has been referred to as the land of remorse, la terra del rimorso, which also translates to land of the rebitten. Here, in this harsh landscape, lives the tarantula, and the echoes of some deep, dark, pre-Christian pagan shit, like Tarantism. A dance, a ritual, an exorcism, an expression of unspeakable desires.
What is this
Very
wine?
humble
Can we
local
trust it?
wine. It's rustica.
Rustico.
Rustico.
Here we are at the humble masseria.
Now, what is a
Very
masseria?
proud. A masseria is a place that was the bigger house where the family would stay, and then the farmers, the animals.
It's a plantation.
It's a plantation. The
And this would
farms,
be the big
olives.
house.
Ehi, ammazza quante cose a me. La dia a lui, santo cielo. Un sacco di pasta. The women are very provocative, huh? To say the least. It's like at your place in America. Hookers.
No, it's Hooters.
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 Local Apulian superstition has it, if a tarantula bit someone, most often a woman while she worked the fields, it could lead to some pretty direct and disturbing demonstrations of carnality and desire. The victim tortured by something supernatural, toxic, for which there was only one cure.
La Taranta. It's the kind of music that was played with these women who were possessed, bit by the tarantula. All of a sudden, a woman would be on the floor, speaking in tongues, like, oh, and the family doesn't know what to do. There was only one remedy. Calling the musicians in, they would have this kind of ecstatic and orgasmic, pretty much, moment where they were released from this ultimately sexual possession.
Over the generations, the Catholic Church absorbed ancient pagan traditions like Tarantism, and the ritualistic, frenzied music and dance associated with it evolved into what we know today as pizzica and tarantella. While elsewhere in Europe, belief in afflictions like Tarantism died off, down here, old-school rituals are still practiced. Victims of the tarantula's bite experience swelling, pain, spasms, and when exposed to music, hysteria.
It's a sense of vastness that I'm not used to. So does this remind you of your cowboy movies?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yes, the lone gunman out for vengeance would be riding in a long shot over there.
The cave city of Matera was occupied for a span of 9,000 years, predating the days of Christianity, the Roman, and even Greek empires.
So this was the shame of Italy, this place.
It doesn't look shameful to me.
Back in the day, right, this was where
people lived in caves and they had no god.
After centuries of neglect, Matera's cave communities became, for post-war Italy, a symbol of national dysfunction, backwardness, and horrifying living conditions.
I mean, this is an area that was known for briganti, outlaws, bandits. So this was always where, you know, the losers were sent. Into the 50s and 60s, this was considered an embarrassment and a shame. People lived.
Yeah, because they
without
had no
plumbing,
water, yes.
10 kids, shitting in a bucket, up to 50% mortality rate among children.
Malaria was endemic, with children begging in the street for quinine to prevent it.
They were burning fire to keep the animals away as the children were dying.
In the 1950s, the population was forcibly relocated, leaving Matera's cave structures abandoned.
And the way they lived, you know, they were still pagan.
And of course now it's
Because of Mel
Airbnb.
Gibson and all the Christ movies, because it looks like Jerusalem at the time of Christ. And it's strange that, you know, in a place that had no God, they shot all the Christ movies. Jesus brought the money, and all of a sudden this became hip, and people wanted to live in the caves and make bed and breakfast, and expensive. It's expensive to live in the caves now.
But this is the story of every beautiful place, kind of. It's like, let's move everybody out, and then in come the hipsters and the postcards and the Airbnbs. And thank God nobody's living here.
Because people like you, but anyway,
You're right,
listen,
you're right,
yeah,
you're
because
right.
people like you make it, oh, this looks so wonderful, I want to go see. And then they bring the money in, and
Oh my God, I am
it's
selling
normal.
Airbnbs right now, as
we
we
speak. They put the cross up there. So up there you go to see Christ.
To take your selfie.
Huh?
But it's beautiful, it's still beautiful.
No,
It
it's
looks
awesome.
idyllic, right?
I've never seen a place like this. Not even in Jerusalem. Until the tourist arrives and they make it
Right.
disgusting. I mean, they make it,
Different.
yes.
Alla riunina, la viola, da zita iola, degno e de tice, da ui. Bellissima.
Bravissima, bellissima.
Excelente.
My grandma died when I was a kid, and those of you who know me know I'm always on the lookout for another one. anybody's grandma to cook for me and make me feel like everything's gonna be okay.
Buonasera. Buonasera. Ciao, dammi un bacio. Ciao, Maria.
Our friend Angelo introduces us to Nonna Maria.
Che belle orecchiette.
E si vede, guarda com'è carnosa.
Sì.
No, magari se vuole ne mettiamo un pochino, dai, mettilo, dai. Come vuoi? Facciamo abbondante, Anthony, dai.
Mettici il formaggio.
Sì, subito.
Formaggio ricotta,
Cacio ricotta.
Cacio
ricotta.
Cacio
Eccezionale.
ricotta, sì.
Eccezionale.
What's the difference between ricotta and cacio ricotta?
Cacio è cacio cavallo. It's a bit smoky.
Oh, che profumo, complimenti.
Mangiate, buon appetito. Grazie.
Grazie, signora, fate per il Spirito Santo.
No, è buonissimo. Eccezionale, signora Maria. Vino. Che vuole Maria? Vino?
Sì. Per un sacerdote, stasera non è venuto, ho telefonato ieri.
Non volevo venire. She's saying she has a priest coming every night to have dinner with her. È un bravo uomo.
Sì, no, è bravo. Come un figlio per me.
Giovanni si chiama?
Sì.
Don Giovanni.
Don Giovanni.
I originally had in mind, I don't know, some polite dinner conversation. Maybe changing times, history of the region.
First of all, I guess...
No, il Signore, no, io sono molto amore e molto amore verso il Signore.
But Maria had other things on her mind.
So I want to know, what are the differences in character, in the heart and character of the Pugliese
and the rest of Italy.
and the rest of Italy?
Dice Maria a quest'età, 89, dice, e poi tutti gli acciacchi che tiene. Dice, il Signore ti vuole bene, a te ti fa le grazie. Dice, non te li posso fare, sono 3 sere che non mi fai i piatti, perché lui soffre. Si sta tante cose, figlio mio. Sta male dopo venire.
He's sorry that she's
Mi fece piangere. Ieri sera mi fece piangere.
Last night he made
Maria, non fare così, ma dai.
Non vieni a piangere, perché le voglio bene come una figlia, capite? Mi voglio bene come una figlia. Dunque.
In the end, sometimes all you can do is get out of the way and enjoy the ride.
Andarono le 2 donne, andarono al vescovo, non ti stavo dicendo, quelle troie. Scusami signore, mi è venuta. No, cattive sono state, lo devono pagare però. No, la devo pagare, nell'ora del diavolo che se li porta all'inferno.
Aspetta, vuole chiedere una domanda, Anthony.
Sì.
Why, is it St. Peter or St. Paul or both? Why are they the...
I peperoni non li vuoi
Allora,
assaggiare?
Oh, super.
Tu quanti figli hai, Maria?
2, un maschio e una femmina.
Un maschio e una femmina.
Ma sono brave tutte e 2, tengo dei figli di oro, guarda.
Maria, però non ti vengono le lacrime, mi fai dispiacere,
no,
Maria.
Ma sono lacrime di gioia.
Dai, è la gioia, brava, la gioia, gioiosa ti vogliamo.
La gioia.
La gioia ci vuole, brava, Maria.
Senti.
Come ti senti con le gambe?
Che quello è qua.
No, state comodi. L'aiuto io, Maria, per piacere. Asia, l'aiuto io, Maria. Maria, tutto bene?
The cushion. No, I know what you're tempted to do. That's the bad part.
When I was a child, my mother took me.
At the good Pope or the Nazi?
No, he was the good one. He
Which
was
one
not
is
the
this?
Nazi. This is not Papa Nazi.
That's a good one. The current one, the one before?
Perfetto.
Whatever.
Voitila. Bello Papa Voitila. Io l'ho incontrato Papa Voitila.
Quanto sei bello.
Mi ha carezzato. She loves us, so beautiful.
Comunque, Maria, le orecchiette erano
Guarda, l'abbiamo finito di... Bravo!
Eccezionali, proprio...
Ave Maria, Vergine del cielo, la prece nostra si volge a te con fervore, perdona noi peccator. Ave Maria.
You know why the streets are empty?
Why?
Because everyone is celebrating St.
Oh,
Peter.
the festa.
The festa dei
feast.
Santi.
You throw a party and celebrate the death of two saints.
Double P. Paolo e Pietro.
The festival of local patron saints Peter and Paul is equal parts religious celebration and a big party. But I'm not going.
All right.
You don't want to go see the feast of the saints?
No. I did not. I'm named after a saint. But, but I have...
Which Anthony? Which Antonio?
One who loves animals.
No.
Cooked.
No. But with Antonio, there's Antonio, he loves kids.
I like kids. But not cooked. So, you have been reading up on St. Peter, I've been reading up on St. Paul. You know, two people were brutally, one was crucified upside down.
Peter.
My guy had his head lopped off.
Oh, he was beheaded.
He was beheaded.
For certain.
St. Paul wasn't like a nice guy.
No, he was terrible.
He was in charge of persecuting heretics and Christians.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's on his way to Damascus to torture the fuck out of some more Christians. And he experiences a blinding light. He goes blind.
And what does the voice say? I am Jesus, your Lord. You're torturing Christians. Like, you shall stop.
Yeah. Get on board, get on the Jesus train. And then 3 days later, the scales fell from his eyes.
Yes, but the scales is like prosciutto. Like, he had prosciutto in front of his eyes and fell down. And then he was like, oh, he was...
You're making me hungry.
It's a miracle. Oh, wow.
As important as religion, folklore, and history are to me, you know what's more important? Dinner. A last grab at some local specialties.
In the past, the town was considered a sacred site, protected by St. Paul, who, according to local belief, made the land and its inhabitants immune to the bites of poisonous animals, especially the tarantula. That's why, here you go.
A few final moments of happiness, far from the madness.
But it's going good now. I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. The streets are incredibly clean.
I mean, I've never seen, like, when you walk around the streets, they shine. There's more money, there's more tourism. But what is this hiding? Because for me, when I see perfect beauty, I always wonder what's behind. Parla più piano che nessuno sentirà. Il nostro amore lo viviamo io e te. Nessuno sa la verità. È un grande amore, mai più grande esisterà. È un grande amore, così grande esisterà.